Welcome to the We Wish You Well podcast. I am Danny, your kind of host, and I'm here with my colleagues and friends, Rubit and Gordon, and we have been working on this project for a little while now, and we wish to give you guys some financial advice to understand how to build wealth and gain financial freedom. Purpose of today is to introduce ourselves, let you guys get to know who we are, what we do, and the goals that we have to teach you about what we know and hopefully help you get to a better place financially. So we will start. You want to start first, sir? Introducing who you are, where you're from, where'd you come from, your background, whatever it may be.
Yeah, no, thank you. Great intro. My name is Gordon Chavez, and real quick, we're not sharing financial advice. We're sharing strategies, we're sharing different financial ideas, but we highly recommend consulting a financial advisor before you make any decisions. Full disclosure, my background is in graphic design, printing, advertising, marketing, things like that. And when I made a switch, I chose this field kind of by accident. I met my mentor and my financial advisor, Carlos Salgado, through a mutual friend, and he shared kind of what he was working on, what he was building, his business that he was building, and he started to help me and my family. And as I got to learn more and build a relationship, a friendship with him, I started to make more of a transition into getting into this type of work, and now I've been doing this for 6-7 years now. And so we're here to share strategies, ideas, concepts, not financial advice. Please consult your financial advisor. But also, in addition to the number side of things, the financial strategies and whatnot, we're also going to talk about mindset and the way we think. Maybe we'll share books that we've read, maybe we'll share different audio that we listen to, and just the stuff that we use to feed our mind so that we stay focused on constantly growing and improving. So I pass it to my friend here, Rubit Ramos. Share a little bit about yourself and how you got into this. I think that's what we're talking about, right?
How we got into this.
Okay, hey guys, my name is Rubit Ramos, and so I've had like a few jobs before getting into the industry, but I was a stay-at-home mom for a long period of time, and just being here.
Being with energy?
With energy?
Yeah, with energy.
So what attracted you to energy?
Well, I have a friend, her name is Roxana Guzman, and she was the one that actually introduced me to Carlos and Gordon a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I never really got in the industry like how I'm doing it now. A few years passed by and I reconnected with Gordon, and he shared a little bit of what he was doing with Energy Financial, and I really loved everything that he spoke about, and I felt like this was a place that I wanted to learn from and I wanted to educate myself more, and it was a place where I was confident enough to bring family and friends
We got the horn honking outside.
to
I
this
know,
industry.
right? From the train.
It's okay. So I was confident enough to introduce like family and friends and speak about Energy Financial to them. So it's been a long journey, but I'm very grateful to be here today and share these services with you guys.
Yes.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. And last but not least, it's Danielle, last name Wood, but Summer also. It's hard to explain. But thank you guys for joining, being here. I'm definitely grateful to be a part of this group with Energy and the associates that I have and the family that is Energy. I came from a hospitality background. Never thought I would venture down this avenue of financial strategies and services and life insurance or whatever it may have been, but it was probably one of the greatest things that I could have done, because just working for somebody else was getting tiresome. And as scary as it was, I was introduced to energy by a gentleman who I worked in the restaurant industry from about 3 years ago. And he introduced me to Carlo, and I hesitated to join because I didn't believe in myself at the time or think that I would ever gain success in doing this, because I didn't even know anything about money. It wasn't something I was taught growing up, so it made me very apprehensive. But he had approached me again about 6 months after that, and I still said no. And then 6 months later, he came back, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to do it. And I went headfirst diving into this, and I think it's probably one of the greatest decisions I've made. The way that I think about money, the things that I've learned about money, the people that we're affiliated with, and just all of the different aspects based on the group that we have and who we have as resources. It's really just inspired me to continuing to want to learn more and grow. So that's pretty much how I got into it. And if it wasn't for me getting into this, I would not know the things that I know today. And it's constantly a learning experience. Entrepreneurship, it's not for the weak at heart, but dedication and consistency can get you places that you never thought you'd be. So we're definitely excited to share our experiences with you guys. I kind of want to transition into what inspired you guys to want to be a part of the We Wish You Wealth podcast, because I think I was kind of thinking about doing this for maybe 6 months to a year, and then I kind of just wanted to incorporate, obviously, so that we can all expand ourselves and help as many people. So what made you guys want to be a part of this and join?
Great question.
Yeah.
I see what the wheels turning.
Right? She's like, wait a minute, how do I answer?
I want to go first. No. Okay, so for me, it was more like, in my mind, I've been having this vision of how do I reach more people? How do I connect with more people? I really want to, be my authentic self and really be able to like connect with the people in certain
different
ways. Yeah. So I was like, okay, videos, that's fine. It's not that easy for me, but
Should have seen it before the video.
I was like, how else? And I did feel like maybe going live and doing more, but then when Danielle was talking to me about creating the podcast and how did I feel if I wanted to join, and I was like, wow, this is a great opportunity for me to do exactly what I was thinking about, for me to be able to reach out to people and communicate with more people and expand myself and really introduce myself in a way where we're just the same. We are the same, and in being able to help financially, like with education, I think that was really important for me, and I saw so much value in that I decided to say yes.
Now we have the podcast.
Yeah,
And
we
now
do.
we're here
We're so
today.
too. Well, thank you for sharing. Yeah, I mean, I also, just based on the fact that there's like so much social media and so many different avenues that you can, based on what we do, it really just takes doing it. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, no, and that doesn't only have to like do with stuff like this. It's like if you want to be a bodybuilder or a scuba diver or whatever whatever it is that you're trying to pursue, the only thing that has to happen is you just do it.
Taking
So,
action.
Yeah, action. So thank you for being a part. I'm very happy to have you here.
Thank you.
And you, sir?
Me? So for me, a lot of the same what Rubit said. So I've been on social media for a while, but my energy alone is kind of really low, mellow, monotone energy. And so when I can interact and work with others and collaborate with others, like you said, it brings out my real self. Because
Yeah.
You see my videos on they're fine and they're nice and instructional, but they're kind of like that guy from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I don't know if you're kind of young. But the one teacher's like Bueller. So that's me. I'm the Bueller guy. It's just a straight face. But in this environment, I can really, as you said, connect. I can be who I really am. I can have different levels of energy, be able to share with a wider audience, you know, the information that we have. I come from humble beginnings, and just watching my household as a kid struggle with money in general, and also if we're talking about mindset as well, like that whole self-worth part, you know. I mean, you could make really good money and still live a horrible life if you don't value yourself, because if that self-worth's not there, you're gonna struggle one way or the other. And so I wanna share everything that we're learning to everybody out there. I wanna be able to reach a wider audience. I wanna be able to be me and interact with others, and so that's why I'm doing it.
Yeah, I think that's good that you touch base on, you know, we go on social media and we post videos by ourselves, and to be honest with you, most days we dread it. It's not the funnest thing, and yes, we can be boring, but it's like it just feels more comfortable, because I think that, you know, finance and financial strategies, like if you're getting together for like 2 hours with somebody like once a week or twice a week, whatever it may be, you're gonna learn stuff that you've never learned before, and it can put you in a position that you never thought. So, you know, and people don't know questions to ask or whatever it may be. So I think like just the comfortability of just sitting around and having a conversation, like might not make it so scary for other people who, you know, want to learn, but they're afraid because, you know, the vocabulary is complicated and they don't understand, and they think that, you know, people might steer them in the wrong direction or whatever it may be. So it's just kind of
ask questions.
Right. Yeah. Because they don't want to sound like they're dumb. I'm like, I'm not asking that. And I'm like, ask all the questions. Like, don't be scared to ask questions. You will get an answer eventually. So I guess we already went over like how we got into life insurance. What do we like about life insurance? You want to go first?
Yeah, sure.
We can switch it up. I can go first if you want. I mean,
I can go.
Okay.
Next time you'll go first.
Okay.
Okay. So what do I like about life insurance? I actually love life insurance.
It's not like.
Yeah,
I love
it.
And that is because, I mean, the industry itself has brought me lots of growth personally, and as a person, as an individual, and I just feel very appreciated about that. But when it comes also to life insurance and being able to help people with that to me is also like, wow. Why? Because it brings protection, it brings peace of mind. I honestly feel like you become, in a sense, like where you're really like, wow, I'm really doing this for my family. This is a responsible thing to do for me and for my family. And then life insurance has so many benefits that it offers you. Living benefits as well. So there's a lot to know about life insurance, and there's also a lot of like different ways to help you.
Great answer.
Yeah.
What do you not like about it?
What the thing that I don't
Well,
like.
she loves it, so
I
there's
mean,
nothing
I
not
love
to
it.
like.
There's pretty much nothing that I don't like about life insurance. Probably maybe the way that it can be scary to get life insurance. And I say that because when I was first introduced into like a life insurance and they spoke to me about it, I thought it was amazing. I thought it was beautiful. It was such an amazing thing to do. But then one day I actually got a policy and it made me kind of scared. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I writing my death?
Am I gonna die soon?
Am I really saying this so that I can die, right?
Oh my
And
God.
that is and the reason why that happens is because we have such a like different mentality when it comes to that because we're not educated on it, right?
Correct.
So in my family, I never heard anything about life insurance. Nobody ever spoke about that. So it did get me like scared to have life insurance. And then also it's kind of like people say that it can be a scam. Kind of like since there's a lot of different life insurances policies, companies, and different types of contracts, it can be like, oh man, I didn't get such a great thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think that's probably the downside of it. But other than
the
that,
education,
Yeah.
the lack of
education on it, the
education.
lack of education on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. I never thought about life insurance before. I was like, life insurance, what do I need that for? A lot of people say
I'm not
that.
gonna die
Right? I'm too young, yeah.
I'm immortal.
Right? How about you, G? What do you like about it?
So I really like the culture of Energy Financial specifically. You know, being able to get mentorship from Carlo and Anna and the whole Energy team in general. When we get together, there's so much value that comes out of, you know, when we have our mindset trainings and our product trainings and all of our education, because that's one of the things that we do that many other agencies might not do is educating ourselves so that we can really help our clients. You know, in the financial services world, there seems to be a lot of side taking where the stock market folks are working against the life insurance and annuity folks, and the life insurance and annuity folks want to fight with
It's so
the
sad.
stock market folks. It's like a big, you know, side taking fest, if you want to call it that, where they want to talk bad about each other, I guess. And so, and I think with Energy Financial, we work with everybody.
Yeah.
We work with, you know, CFPs and stockbrokers and you know, accountants and estate planning attorneys, and we want to be able to truly offer a plan or strategy that's going to fit our clients' needs, not just focusing on our own well-being or our own commission, I guess you could say, because we earn by commission. Because we could do it in a way that really helps us earn more money, or we could do it in a way that's really going to benefit our clients.
Yeah.
And so that's where that education and training really sets us apart from the rest of at least the life insurance world.
Right.
I got no beef with stockbrokers or the stock market. You know, I work with, I think a full, holistic, well-balanced plan is the best way to go about this. And so that's what I like most about what Energy Financial does and what life insurance is able to do. Life insurance itself has evolved so much that you can do, like you said, you can do so much with it. You know?
Yeah.
It's not your grandma and grandpa's life insurance.
No, it's not.
It's changed so much.
Yeah.
And so, but that comes with that knowledge. Like if the advisor that is helping a person doesn't truly understand it, it doesn't matter how good it is, it's never going to work the way that they need it. And
Right,
so
exactly.
that's what I like most about what we do.
Anything you dislike?
I think that whole side
Yeah,
drama. I don't
You're
get
like-
involved in the drama.
You're like, stockbroker, put your dukes out for
Right,
us.
like,
Get
get your gloves.
Yeah, we're throwing bones.
Exactly. No.
Oh, Right on. Well, thank you guys for sharing. I guess for me, what do I like about it? I think she touched base on it. The protection, the peace of mind, the sense of security. With the different types of policies, it doesn't have to be expensive. You can request a certain amount of death benefit to leave to your family. You can plan these policies however you want to make sure that you leave a legacy for the people that you love. Mm-hmm. And because, I've seen, I've lost a lot of friends, and there's always has to be a GoFundMe and people scrambling to provide services and get everything done. But just knowing that that's already taken care of, can alleviate the emotional distress in some way to the people who are trying to grieve and, process their emotions without having to, coordinate this and run around and do this and all of that stuff. So that I think is one main benefit on top of, with certain types of policies, which I didn't understand, leveraging cash value to invest in assets, getting, a tax-free retirement. Living benefits. There are so many things about life insurance that I didn't know.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy. Once you actually dive deeper into it and don't think it's just for when you die, you're like, oh my gosh, is this real? How do I not know about this? Why is it's advertised to elderly people, but the younger people need to start getting on this train. It's insane what this stuff can do for you. What I don't like about it, what I just said is people think they're too young for it. Honestly, we know our date of birth. We don't know, the day that we're going to pass away. And, it's scary. Death is not something that people want to talk about. But it needs to be talked about. And, people need to know, how you want to have things planned out for you when that happens, because so many things happen unexpectedly every day. It's better to have it now than not have it at all.
Yeah.
Because, it kind of feels like a financial burden to your family if you're not prepared.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing I don't like about it. And then the other one is that people say that us as agents are con artists and scam artists, and life insurance is a scam.
Yeah.
And we just work for commissions. And, and the thing about it is that, there are agents out there that will write a policy so that they can make a commission off of you. And that's why we're here to teach you what your policy actually is supposed to look like based on what you're trying to achieve, so that we're actually taking care of the client as opposed to taking care of ourselves. Even though we know how to do it, we're not those greedy agents. We're not, like you said, we're not here for the commission. We're here for the mission of actually letting people know how this really works, how it can really benefit you, and the things that you can accomplish if you start utilizing it at a younger age. So that's what I don't like about this.
You don't like.
I'm not a con artist, okay? I promise.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest problem with life
is.
insurance. It's actual life insurance agents doing it incorrectly.
Right.
Yeah.
And some just don't have the knowledge and the training and the education, and some really are trying to take advantage of folks. And maybe not so much, maybe even not taking advantage of people, but they're setting it up for the biggest commission for themselves versus making sure that it fits the goals of the client.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that's why I really like Energy Financial, because their values and their vision and their mission for our clients, it's our priority.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's awesome. And then just the fact that we've all come from not really the most financially stable place, but for people who are actually like us, for us being able to help them, because I'm not gonna lie, people when I got into this, they were like, what are you doing, Danny? You were a broke bee for a long time. And I'm like, oh, I know, I was very frugal. Trust me. I was like, you get a beer, you get a beer.
Take care of everybody.
Yeah, I feel like
Nice.
Oprah. But yeah, so, and just like not thinking about it, nothing ever crossed my mind. I was just like, just spend it, buy what you want. And like, you know, because it was never anything I thought about was investing in assets and real estate or anything like that. So I'm just like, throw it away. So,
We're a product of our environment.
Right.
We come from humble beginnings, and we don't get outside of our own bubble and learn something different. We're gonna do what we
what we were
do,
taught.
Yeah.
For sure. And then, also just like you guys were talking about the values of energy and the fact that we actually are here for the people. And just the way that it's changed our mindset, the things that we talk about, the fact that we're continually learning new products, and you know, we have our mentor Carlos Algado, and that he is willing to take the time to speak with us and teach us and show us the right way to do it to benefit the client the most is absolutely what I love about that. So with that being said, based on the fact that we do talk about mindset, how has the industry changed the way you think about money, and how have your money habits evolved, considering I was just saying I was throwing it away? Do you want to go first, Jane?
Sure. Yeah. So like I said, you know, I come from humble beginnings. I grew up here in Oceanside, California, and now my wife and I are raising our family in Oceanside, California. And you know, when I first met Carlo, for example, I was looking for an insurance policy. I was actually looking for life insurance. I didn't really know anything about it, but a friend of mine had just gotten into a bad car accident and ended up in a wheelchair. And to this day, she's still in that wheelchair. And I was like, what can I do to protect my family if something like that happened to me?
Yeah.
And so as I learned about life insurance, the idea, right, that most people understand is that life insurance offers a death benefit or an amount of money that goes to whoever you choose in your family when you die. But what about while you're still alive? What about my friend who didn't die in the car accident, right?
Right.
Being thankful for that, right? But now is not able to work. So her earning capabilities were just taken away, right? Or at least limited. And so how does she pay her bills? How does she pay her medical bills? I mean, she had really good insurance, but even that ran out. How does she do all of that? And so that's what I was looking for. And my wife and I had our house and our cars covered with farmers. And I'm not saying anything bad about farmers, right?
Yeah.
But we had, you know, a typical insurance policy for our house and our cars. And so I went to my farmer's agent, who was a great guy, and I said, look, this is what's going on in my head. This is what I'm thinking. This is happening to my friend. I want to know if there's something that I can do to protect myself if I was injured to where I couldn't work and still be able to pay my bills. And basically describing living benefits, but I didn't even know what they were. I didn't know that existed.
Yeah.
And he basically said, well, there's stuff out there, but it's kind of expensive, so let's just get you a term policy. We'll get you a 30-year term. If you die, you know, 300, 500, whatever, I can't remember how much it was, will go to your wife so that she doesn't have to lose the house, right?
Yeah.
Mortgage insurance. And I think that's great. I think mortgage insurance is great, right? And term policies often work really well for that.
Yeah.
However, that's not what I was asking about, right? And he basically looked at me and said, okay, this is too much for you. Let me dumb it down and give you this other thing that I think will be a good fit. And I had no idea that he was holding out on me, right? And maybe holding out's the wrong term. But I had no idea that there was, for example, permanent life insurance. I had no idea that there was cash value life insurance. I had no idea that there were living benefits. So all of this stuff was not a part of my bubble of exposure. It wasn't stuff that I was exposed to. I didn't know anything about it, right? And so I was getting ready to get that term policy. And luckily, you know, a friend of mine reached out to me and says, I want to introduce you to my friend Carlo and see what happens from there, right? And so I met him. He kind of described, you know, what kind of work he does and how he helps people. And I said, oh, you do some life insurance? He's like, yeah. So I described to him what I talked about with my farmer's agent. He's like, I got exactly what you need.
Mhm.
Living benefits, it's permanent, it's gonna grow cash value. And I'm like, my insurance agent didn't tell me anything about this stuff,
He was
right?
silent.
And so that for me was a turning point in my understanding of money in general,
Mhm.
my understanding of not living benefits, life insurance. And I even walked away from that meeting like, nah, this is too good to be true. Like,
Right.
there's
I know,
no way that this stuff
everybody
really
says
works,
that.
right? And so here I go, I'm doing my research, I'm searching online, like, what is this? Like, is this for real? Is this legit? And sure enough, all the research that came back was legit. It was a real thing. And so that's when I got started. I never got the term policy. I got the indexed universal life policy with Carlo, and that just like opened it, like my bubble just expanded and said, okay, there's more out there that you don't know about.
Mhm.
So I started learning and I started like one of the biggest concepts that really was a game changer for me was understanding the difference between good debt and bad debt.
Oh yeah.
And I thought, oh my gosh, these credit cards, 20%, 25%.
Yeah.
Ooh. So it's just been such a blessing in my life to get to this place where I have a reliable source of information, where I can get the truth and just learn and expand my knowledge, and then be able to share it with other people through vehicles like this, podcasts, and social media, and things like that. So I know it's kind of a long answer.
Yeah, that's
but
okay. Long-winded.
that's kind of how it was for me. It was really eye-opening.
Right on.
Yeah.
And you have children,
Yeah.
so maybe an advantage of that, because I know our parents didn't teach us about this, and we don't learn about this stuff in school. So an advantage that you guys have is now having this information to pass down to them, for them to pass down to their kids, you know, and
Generational
yeah,
interruptions.
generational wealth, and and starting them. I think I see videos like on Instagram and stuff, and there's this guy that does like finance ABCs, and like he goes through all the letters, and there's a letter for everything associated with it, and he's like 5, and the kid
That
goes.
little kid?
Yes,
Oh,
kid.
wow.
It's like so cool. So like there's the
That's
fact
awesome.
that like once you can like change the way that you think about it, and then you can, you start feeling confident,
Mhm.
then you can like actually be like, okay, I'm gonna change my kid's life and not maybe make them live the life
Oh,
that
yeah.
I had.
Yeah.
So
It changes everything.
I think there's just
It
a lot
does.
of benefits of stepping into or out of your comfort zone
Yeah.
and making yourself uncomfortable and forcing yourself to really learn what you want to learn or do whatever it is you want to do. You just, like we said earlier, you just have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, based on the fact that we're talking so much about education, I want to segue into types of people that we're going to have on,
Mhm.
topics that we may potentially be discussing, and then we'll just kind of let everybody know when we'll be back. And yeah, so topics. We know a lot of different topics, and this list is probably shorter than it should be, but we're gonna start somewhere because
You gotta just do it. Like
we just gotta do it.
Just gotta
So we will be talking about assets over liabilities. I had no clue what that was when I first got here. I was like, what's a liability? Oh, my pair of shoes? Okay. I won't buy any more of those vans, but sure. Potentially lowering your tax bracket, the power of zero. He just said good debt versus bad debt. Obviously, term insurance, whole life insurance, indexed universal life insurance, final expense. There will be segments on how to elevate your money mindset, books that you can read, all of the things that we have incorporated into our lives, the suggested books that we've taken, and just how to get yourself out of feeling like maybe you're in the rat race, and maybe inspire you to, because a lot of people are like, well, I just don't know where to start. So
Yeah.
we're gonna help you with that. And then we'll take segments. We'll have clients come and have discussions with us. We'll have people who don't necessarily understand finance with us. life insurance with us, people that have this type of policy or that type of policy. And then we also have CFPs, real estate, and crypto people that will join us, as well as you said, accountants, tax attorneys, estate planners. So we have a lot to offer, so bear with us as we get going. Do you guys have any final comments?
I'm just excited to be able to
Me too.
finally get in front of the
I know. She Google Box over here. Yeah, you should have seen her before we got live, but that's okay.
Cut those parts.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
She looked worried while you're telling me.
So the plan is to have you guys with us every second and fourth Thursday of the month from 11 a.m. to noon. If you can attend, we would absolutely be glad to have you with us. We will be live, and we will have the recordings as well. Oh yeah, Pacific time.
Yeah, Pacific time.
And let's see, what else was I gonna say?
Where can they find us?
Oh, you can find us on YouTube, Instagram, I think YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Facebook, and what's that website where when they can't watch the video that streams to all of the
Oh, Anchor.
Anchor. So yeah, if you wanted to listen while you were driving, we are going to have it streamed to multiple different what do you call them? Streaming services.
Yeah.
So with that being said, thank you guys for joining. We look forward to seeing you again, and we wish you well.
Yeah.